Welcome to On Purpose Coaching, where we challenge you to do better on purpose. I want to talk to Aldo, Jessica. Mute yourselves. Unmute yourselves. Aldo, you can go first.
Okay.
What resonates most with you about your type?
What resonates more about my type is they look for the constant perfection, right? The improvement. How do I can keep improvement? So one of the things that I always identify with that.
Okay. What do you feel like you bring to a relationship?
I think I bring to the relationship. I was telling Arlene, I think I bring a lot of stability, routines, and predictability. So I have like a system that she can define where am I all the time. So she doesn't get surprises.
Okay. Sounds boring. No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
I'm kidding.
She's not kidding. She doesn't kid like that.
It sounds boring. What do you seek in a relationship, Aldo? What are you looking for from someone else, from Arlene? What do you look for?
I look for to be understood, basically.
Mm-hmm.
One of the main things, right?
And not to be criticized.
Yeah, and not to be criticized. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. How do you prefer to be loved?
And one of the things that I like to be loved is by caring. So when I see that she care about something, she buys me completely.
Yeah.
So that's one of the key things that I always look for, and I appreciate for her that she does a lot.
Yeah. Nice. And you were saying you like to be understood. What is the one thing that you're always misunderstood about?
And it's about that I come across like criticisms or too strong when I'm trying to help. So my intention is not to hurt.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I am not healthy and I'm teaching, but it's not criticizing, it's to be understood from my point of view.
Okay. What do others find frustrating or confusing about you?
Well, I don't know. Like for example, at work they tell me like I have only one defect, and it's that I don't have a gray area. So it is black or it's white. So
yeah,
don't settle for middle stuff.
Yeah. That can be hard sometimes, especially, in an environment like that where there needs to be some flexibility and adaptability, right?
Yes.
Looking for that agile leader, that leader that's able to flex to what we needed to be flexed towards. Okay.
Yes, it's like defining what is good enough.
There you go. Yeah. What's one thing you find that's hard to share about yourself?
I think sometimes it's about my battle with the inner critic. So it is something like I kept inside me because I don't think people will understand.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. You don't think people understand the concept, or do you think people are like, seriously, just
seriously?
Yeah. I can get that. When and where do you feel most comfortable?
Well, I think I feel more comfortable when I get invited to do to help someone, right? So when I get asked, would you help me here? How would you do that? You ask me that question, and then right away, right?
Yeah.
That's my sweet spot there.
When you get to use your strengths, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what's one thing people could do to help you feel your most authentic self, to make you feel you through and through? What's one thing they can do?
I think getting accepted for the way that I am is the best. When I can get really myself out. When I receive the acceptance, we know how you are, how you think, right? That
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Good stuff.
Hey, Aldo, do you think you're a stronger 2-wing or 9-wing?
I think I'm very strong on the 9 size. So I like to look for the peaceful, the quietness, just like Dan, right? Let's make sure that everything is quiet and disagreement settle down.
Mm-hmm.
So, but on the 2 side, I also too controlling sometimes. So it switch back and forth.
I was just thinking when you said you like to help, so I was just thinking about that. And Arlene, do you think you're more 4 or 6?
6.
6, okay.
Definitely 6, yeah.
That's funny because I'm a very strong 2 wing and he's a strong 4 wing.
Right, so we.
We're the same numbers, but
But
could look quite
opposite,
different.
yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Jess? What resonates with you most about your type?
I would say the idea of being assaulted by all the imperfections, that it's something that like I can't help but see. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you feel like you bring to a relationship?
I think I'm a good, like I'm a problem solver. I bring solutions. I bring order. And I think because of that strong 2 wing, like I really have a deep love for people. And so I like to use the positive attributes of a 1 in the way to help other people. Like I want to help do the right thing. I want to help create solutions, help make things easier, bring order to something.
Okay.
And like I am like the heavy, deep, and real kind of conversations.
So like Tori talked about though, do you get mad when people don't want to utilize your solutions and what you gave them to do?
You know, that was an interesting thing that she said. I feel like, so if someone,
especially if they come back around.
Yeah. So I feel like when someone asks me for help, I have that very strong sense of integrity, right? So like, I am really going to think it through. I'm going to process all of it. And when I pour myself into someone, like I really give my all. I'm not going to half-ass it, right?
Exactly.
So I do that. And then when I think that there is a sense of that when people are just like, okay, fine. And like, they do nothing with it. Then I'm like, I just gave my all and you're giving 5%, you know? And then now we're revisiting this same issue a week later, 2 weeks later, a year later, because the solutions that you had in your hand, you decided to do nothing with.
So that's frustrating, right?
Yeah, it's frustrating, and it almost speaks to our value, or I'll say like for myself, like it makes me feel like you didn't value what I had to say, or on the other side of it, you did value it, but there's like a lack of integrity on your side where it's like, I just didn't care. I didn't care to do anything with it.
Yeah, so I find that interesting that you think their lack of follow through was a personal attack on you.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that, or on the other side of it, it's like just yet another example of like, I put my all and you didn't.
Yeah.
Where it's like that integrity again, like the follow through, I gave my all and you didn't.
Yeah. So I would say that probably be like a watch out point for you, right? Like,
right.
Because just because they didn't do what they were supposed to do had no bearing on your integrity or your ability to do things. So what do you seek in a relationship? What are you looking for?
I think there's 2 things. One, I need a tenderness, like I need a grace because I don't give it to myself. And when other people give that to me, like it's that tenderness is.
What does that look like?
What does it look like? That's a good question. I think, so for me, one thing that Bradley pointed out to me that was kind of an aha moment was I am most angry when I feel emotionally hurt. And what that is like feeling either completely unseen or unvalued or dismissed. That to me, it's not like sadness. It is like, I am so hurt by that I get angry. And so like in that moment, what grace would look like was extending compassion and understanding that when I'm at my most prickly is when I need the most tenderness. So if I'm upset, I need you to say like, I want to understand. And even if you don't agree, like coming to a place of saying like, I want to understand. And also, like being willing to get into that and work through it. And it's the problem solving. And so it's like, I see you're stuck here. I want to get to the other side with you, and I'm not going to abandon you along the way because I don't get it.
Okay. That's very clear. Okay. That's good.
Even if she has the axe out.
Even if she has the axe out. So yeah. So Brad, that looks like staying in the fire long enough at the table, right? To work through that. And so then if you dispel and peace out, that looks like abandonment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
So that's big. That's big. How do you prefer to be loved?
How do I prefer to be loved?
What does love look like to you?
I think it kind of goes. What's that?
Loving you specifically.
Yeah. I think it's, for me, it's funny because it's two like opposite things. I need you to help me to have fun and help me to like have rest, things I don't give myself. But really what I need to feel loved is those like heavy, deep and real conversations, the problem solving. It's like we were just talking about, it's like staying in something long enough to like get to the other side. And it's also like, I liked how you said in our earlier, how it was like doing something together. And it's like, for me, here's what it boils down to. I want to feel like I have a partner. Like I don't have to be in control. I want someone who wants to join with me, and even if I'm being a little prickly, or even like just extending that grace and wanting to partner together. And one thing I wanted to go back to, that seeking in a relationship is, and maybe this also speaks to the love, is really knowing my heart, because I know that I can sound critical, but, and it's the love. This is the answer to the love question. Now that I'm saying it, it's understanding that what I'm saying is not meant as criticism. It's truly being said from a place of love or care. We're trying to help make something better. It's saying, I see you. I know your heart behind it, even if my approach needs some work. Okay.
Is that how you feel like you're most misunderstood by others? Or is there a different way that you feel most misunderstood?
Yeah. I think that, so it's interesting when you think about these questions, because I can think about it in the context of marriage and then outside of that, which can look a little different.
I was gonna say you can answer either or.
Yeah. I would say the misunderstood, especially like with Brad and I, it's really easy for him to just go to, well, you're just being critical. And often I say, do you really believe that's who I'm being in this moment? And I apologize if I'm not doing it right, but like, do you really believe that that's my heart behind it? And so like, if I didn't have to ask that, I would feel so much more understood. Like if he said, I see that you're being prickly, which means that something in there, I triggered some kind of emotional hurt. And so I want to understand what I did. And then we can, I think that like identifying that would make me feel so secure and understood. And the biggest thing is not saying, it's just not dismissing it, right? It's saying, I will stay, I'm not going to leave. It's saying, we're going to work through it. And believing the best that like, this can be figured out and not just abandoned along the way.
So that maybe your intention is what's
Yes.
most misunderstood by others.
Yeah. And so it's funny.
And why do
because
you think that is? Because I want to stay there. So
Yeah.
why do you think that your intention is so often misunderstood? What is it that's coming across that's the first inclination from someone?
So I would say I don't often feel misunderstood except by Brad, and I think it's probably that it's emotionally charged, and that because there's that emotionally charged thing, it is, I do get more angry, and because I am that one-to-one, like it comes out where like, and so the other interesting dynamic for us is that we both have those, like I go to a 4 in stress. And so I'm more emotional and I'm more hurt and I'm also angry. And so all of that comes out. And then he also is, but he's emotional in a way where he's like, I feel all these emotions and I want to retreat. And so it's an interesting dynamic because I'm all emotional and I want to fix it. I want to problem solve. And he's all emotional and he wants to retreat. And
so that looks like an 8 and a 4, right?
Right. Yeah, and especially as that one-to-one, same thing. It looks a lot like an 8 in that way. So why, in answer to your question, why is there that misunderstanding? I think it's because there's emotional hurts that I feel so deeply that he feels the desire and need to retreat away from. And I need it addressed, and he needs to run away. Okay.
So what do others find frustrating or confusing about you?
I think that they find it confusing why we have a hard time just kind of like letting things go. Like, why do you need to put the time in to tweak this? Why does it need to be done so well that you can't let it go? One thing that I really wrestled with was the label of being called a perfectionist for a long time. And I don't know if this is my experience or if everyone hears it that way, but when I heard that, I felt like I was being put down. And I heard it a lot in my family, like, you're such a perfectionist. And I don't know if it was the way it was said, but it made me feel like, you know, someone calling you stupid or someone calling you, I don't know, it was a bad thing to be called. And so I wrestled with this idea of like, man, I feel like I'm doing something good. Like, I feel like I'm trying hard, and I feel like I'm, you know, like trying to help, or like whatever that was. And it was a couple of years ago when the Holy Spirit spoke to me and just said, and this is not to say that I don't ever go toward that misaligned side, because we all do. But in the wrestling point that I was at, what Holy Spirit spoke to me was, you are a woman of excellence. I have a standard of excellence, and we are called, like it was like the Lord was saying, you are called to hold a standard of excellence. I've called everyone to do that, and you can be an example of it. And it was like the biggest freeing moment for me, that being called like that, what's misunderstood or confusing to some people, they're like, I don't understand why this matters so much. It is so deeply ingrained in me to do everything with this standard of excellence. And now I'm good with that, because I know I'm called to it, and I can be an example. And certainly you can go off the rail and, you know, be misaligned, but it is a good thing. Yeah.
All of our numbers, all the things that we have, those good things that can go in the opposite direction if not done in the proper way, right?
Right.
Yep. So where and when do you feel most comfortable?
I feel most comfortable, I hate to say this, but it's the serious conversations. I wish I was more fun, but that's why I love being with 7s, because they help me there, and I can go there in security. But I feel like I'm most comfortable having like tough discussions or like intellectual conversations or and also I would say when things are in order, like Bradley would tell you, like I can't relax in my own house if things are out of order, because I feel that constant berating of like, but I know in this room there's this, in this room there's this, like all of this list. So I'm most comfortable, I'm able to relax, I'm able to be the best version of myself when things are in order, or like the vacationing. Like if I know that there's, like, if I at least have something of like a list of high points we want to make sure we hit on that trip, I've identified them. Even if it's not like a specific order, there's some sort of structure, then I can relax. But I cannot relax if I feel like I'm in chaos. Like that's a for sure thing. And I even in my home, like I'll say, I want to get things in order, not because I need it in order, but because I know I need that in order to relax.
Okay. And then what's one thing people can do to help you feel your most authentic self?
I think to feel like my most authentic self.
Where you're not putting on any mask. I don't have to live in that perfectionism. I don't have to point out anything. I don't have to try to be fixing something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the most powerful things that has happened to me, I received a letter from a friend who said to me, and this is not to toot my own horn, but she said, "You're a far better friend to others than they are to you." Mm-hmm. And kind of it made me feel like I was seen. And I don't feel like I need to be the best friend. Like I don't feel that need to like be a perfect friend or something, anything like that. But there was
that affirming happened.
Well, it wasn't so much the affirming as it was saying, like, I realize that you have needs that aren't being met.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that it was like you deserve that too.
Gotcha.
And I feel like I can be most authentic when people really see me and know my heart, and they love me for me, and that they value what I bring to the table. Mm-hmm. And that I think not adding, like I already feel that berating of criticism in my own head all of the time. And I honestly, for me personally, like I want to be the best version of myself. So if you have constructive things that I can work on, I want to hear them. Mm-hmm. But the way that those are presented, and we've talked about this, Joanie, like the way that is brought to my attention has to be done from a place of like, I love you so much. I want this. I know you want better for yourself. So like, let's talk about this. And it's not in an attacking way, because I already feel attacked internally all the time. So if I'm attacked more, I really flip from not being my authentic self, because I feel like I'm in chaos, internal chaos.
Okay. Good to know. Very good from both of you. I learned a lot just now, a little bit, that deep diving. So there are some things one can continue. Thank you for tuning in to On Purpose Coaching with your coach, Joanie Bob. Make sure to subscribe down there in the right-hand corner and like my videos if they made an impact on you today. Visit my website, onpurposeplanningandconsulting.com, and sign up for your next step in practical improvement. Use code Enneagram for 50% off a one-time coaching session until the end of July this year. Believe me, it will be worth every penny. Again, thank you for listening today to On Purpose Coaching, where we challenge you to do better on purpose.